Thank you for joining me. This is Kati Whitledge with a Beyond the Technique podcast. You guys, you can transform the world one makeup application at a time. I have first time guest, but long term industry expert, guru, giant, legend. We have Dina Ousley here today. She is the founder of DINAIR airbrush makeup. Before airbrush was airbrush, she developed airbrush. She is the founder of airbrush. You're going to hear all about Dinah. She is based in North Hollywood, California, and she has been in business for over 35 years and just a pioneer in the makeup world. She has a celebrity list beyond lists. Some include Meryl Streep. She participated in the Austin Powers films. She was a participant at the Emmys Governor's Ball, the 64th, and appeared in the 1975 film Shampoo. We're going to hear all about her journey, her origin, her story, everything. Without further ado, help me welcome Dina Ousley. Welcome to Beyond the Technique.
Thank you, Kati. I appreciate you having me.
Well, the pleasure is mine. I just feel like there's so much out there and noise and distractions that we forget, where did this start from? Who can we give credit to for pioneering the movement? And you had a big part in the makeup movement, especially with airbrush. But let's go back to the beginning for you, Dinah. How did you get your start in the beauty industry?
Well, I'm a hairdresser first, and I love hair. I didn't even think I was a great makeup artist because that's not where, I participated so much. So in the industry, the movie industry, all my friends were makeup artists, so they didn't do hair, so they brought me in. And then they couldn't get their job done, and high def was coming, and they wanted me to do makeup. And I went, oh my God, I can't do makeup. I'm not any good. So I went to Valley College at night because I was such a busy hairdresser and took classes just to learn placement. I went, oh my gosh, I'm really not a traditional makeup artist. What are we going to do? They weren't even giving Oscars or Emmys to makeup artists then. And I would show up and bring these articles to my teacher at night and say, one day they're going to give Oscars and Emmys to makeup artists. So I was motivated. I went, wow, that'd be a cool trophy. But I remembered my brother's friends airbrushing t-shirts, and I still have one of my t-shirts that he airbrushed. And I went, I wonder if we can do makeup with an airbrush. And I went, well, I'll try it. And then someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. And I started on my kitchen table and tried to develop it. I started out with CO2 tanks because nothing sprayed low enough. The pressure wasn't low enough to spray the makeup. And so I just started developing it. And I went dancing and met George, and he went, I said, I'm having a little problem with this makeup. My makeup isn't sticking. It needs to stick and stay. And he goes, I can fix that. I said, would you like to get married? So we were partners for many, many, many years, life partners and business partners.
Wow.
So he really was a genius, and I wouldn't be here without him.
Even before this incredible, thing that you embarked on, you got your start in Texas. Like you grew up in Texas. Did you
I
do
did. I
school?
went to school on a scholarship.
Oh, no kidding. Okay. So what prompted you from making the move from Texas to California, especially that Hollywood area? It seems intimidating.
Oh no, I went to New York first. I was a flight attendant. I went back home and got my beauty license and then came back to New York, and I was a hairdresser on ocean liners that went all over the Caribbean. And I worked for Paul Mitchell for many years. He and I were great friends, and I was his assistant and carried his bag. And he just went, if you can, just learn this and stick with this, you can work anywhere all over the world. And I went, oh, okay. So he even helped me get my job in Hollywood as a hairdresser. But I went to acting school with Strasberg, which I look at that now as my therapy. And so I did come to Hollywood. He did help me get a job with Ore, who I adored. And Ore had been a hairdresser with Paul Mitchell in New York. And everybody from Elizabeth Taylor on came to that beauty salon. So I got really introduced to Robert Blake and Elizabeth Taylor and everybody. And it was a very small, intimate salon. And so I learned my skill. I remember when I got my TV series, or Ray put my picture out front and helped me build my clientele that this is the girl from Bronx. And so I still have most of that clientele if they haven't like passed or moved to another planet or somewhere. So I still work, I still cut hair, I still run DINAIR. Um, I've had a long, wonderful career. So I feel airbrushing is like an amazing journey to add to hairdressing.
So after you developed airbrushing, which by the way, all of that sounds incredible. I feel like you've lived how many lives already with all your
Like a cat,
experience?
9 lives. Yeah.
I love it. And so here you are a hairdresser who's embarking on providing airbrush makeup. How did it go at the beginning? Were the celebrity clientele embracing this new method? Like, how did that all come to be as formidable as it is now?
Well, when I would do these celebrities, they would say they wanted me to come and be with them and go on their movies with them. And I really didn't want to. I really liked my clientele. I really liked being normal and basic and, had discipline in my life. And I said to the celebrity, do you like your makeup artist? And they said, yes. And I go, let me train them. And they went, you would do that? And I went, yes. I trained them in their kitchens and in their garages, and the celebrities would pay me to train them. I would come home in Georgia and I would put a kit together for them, like all their little makeup and all their little compressors and everything. And so that's kind of how it began with the celebrity makeup artist wanting it. And then it just spread, the word spread. And yes, then you know how people get, they don't want to share and they want to, um, not be very fair about who invented this. I don't feel I invented it. I feel it was a gift to me to share. And that's how George felt too. So we were always sharing. And I feel that's why we're still here today. So I tell everybody to, please share your knowledge. That's why I'm in colleges today telling kids to pay their taxes, even if they work in their backyard, so they'll have Social Security when they're old, because your life goes by very, very fast. So I'm pretty normal and practical, and I haven't changed much in all of my life, and I really don't plan to. I plan to spread the word and make people happy in their careers, and just make enough money that keeps them happy. Too much is not good.
Mm. And you are such a character. Okay, so when you're on these movie sets, did it live up to the HD world that came about? I mean, this is what I felt when I first heard about airbrush makeup. This for me, it was like 2011. And that's what set it apart from everyday makeup was this airbrush look. Tell us a bit about that.
Well, I don't know if I really know what you mean, but we tested all of the cameras, or most of them, for HD. And George was really great with helping me do all of it because he was this technical genius. Like, uh, so I can tell you one night we were just kind of hanging out, and he said, when you spray, it's pixels. I went, oh my God, that's the answer. That was the answer to it working for high def. All of these celebrities were going out and getting facelifts, and really all of these technical cameramen and everybody thought people were going to look better without traditional makeup on HD. I went, oh my God, nobody's going to go out there without makeup on. And even today, I really see all the bad makeup. I hate to say that to my makeup artist friends, but I see this terrible makeup. It's traditional, it isn't pixels. And pixels are what is compatible with HD. I mean, it's like your fax machine and your computer. It's pixels. There is no other makeup than airbrush makeup, or like George would say, DINAIR. He doesn't want to say just airbrush. Our makeup doesn't have silicone in it. That's why I would like to say DINAIR is different from all the other kind of competitors or knockoffs. What do they say? Competing is whatever. We don't have silicone. It's been banned in all of in EU. So we're back. Brides are back. I love it because it doesn't rub off. And we call those pixels and around those pixels open coverage. This is kind of our own language that separates us from traditional. And around those pixels and your own skin is showing through, it makes it work under all lighting. When you see all these newscasters, I'll use that for an example, they're orange and rabbit white ears and hands because they don't have any makeup on them. So it wipes out all their naturalness. It makes you a better makeup artist because you don't have to wipe out everything and then they paint back in all of the highlights and the shadows. DINAIR lets their own natural beauty shine through. And if they have an issue, it's very easy to take out that issue. It's like photo retouching on live action. And their skin is breathing, or we call it concealing while healing. We are the solution.
Well,
And
that's
yes, we've been
exactly
around a
what I was.
long time, but we are the
Yeah,
solution.
it's so cool, and that's exactly what I was asking is really what that difference is in my head. It was that it gives this HD effect to the finish product, but for you to even just explain that the technology of how it's formulated is different, I think is really neat. And it kind of has it came in, it came out, and it's back in. Why do you think that is? And is this for use in like everyday life? Can women in everyday use airbrush makeup easily?
They should. It's smart. And with the consumer, first of all, they think airbrushing is hard. That's a preconceived idea. It is not hard. We thought of everything. We have distance guides that teaches you distance is your friend, and that's what makes you flawless. All of this comes in your kit. Oh, I can't clean my airbrush. Well, George figured that out and he made cleaning caps that makes it so easy. Clean your brush. You can't leave makeup in your brush. Or do you want to trade off an old, dirty, traditional makeup brush that breaks your face out? Or would you like to have the most sanitary makeup on the planet?
And DINAIR has been around for a very long time. How has your brand and just the formula or product evolved since its conception?
Well, it always evolved, but it's really basically what we came up with in the very beginning. That George is a genius. We use rainwater. And it's not really just the ingredients, which are all organic and great and not tested on animals. And um, it just was formulated right. It was a gift. And so, yes, we perfected some skincare, and that was one of the last things that George did. He felt like he created the right skincare for us because before skincare, we don't moisturize underneath our makeup, we moisturize over our makeup. So we needed a little finish. We always sprayed like we called it moist and dewy, like if they felt like they needed more moisture, we sprayed our moist and dewy over the makeup. But I didn't really, for my skin, need an oilier look. I needed to take the edge off, like kind of a powdery look off. And so he created this glow and set that we spray over our makeup. It doesn't disrupt the makeup, but it takes that little edge off and makes you look really, natural. Um, we're around because we're the disruptive makeup, and everyone wanted to discredit us in every capacity. And we thought of that ahead of time, and we did testing with $100,000 worth of equipment in our classroom with 16 makeup artists learning how to airbrush. And with all of this great equipment, we found out there was no trappings in the air because we spray at a very low pressure. A lot of these airbrush artists spray at a very high pressure, like when they're spraying cars and t-shirts and stuff, they spray at a very high pressure. So makeup artists felt like, oh, I need it really high. Well, that loses the pixelation of the makeup. So we had to create our own compressor that would spray low, and it goes from 0 to 10, and it's illegal to spray over 10 psi anyway on the skin because it's like tattooing pigment into the skin. So we kind of knew they were going to discredit us. They used to put our makeup artists in little rooms and close the door when actors requested it, like big celebrities, because they didn't want anybody else asking for it. So I've been kicked off every movie set known to man. They've tried to get my jobs, but I would always get my job back. I got kicked off of Austin Powers. That was my most favorite job in the whole world. I ate pea soup every day and I wore my tight clothes. And I did body painting to look like Laugh-In with Goldie Hawn and on Laugh-In. So in 2 or 3 days, I was called back to get my job back because they couldn't do my job because it was divinely protected, and I feel DINAIR is divinely protected. And that's why we're still standing today, because we do have an audience. It may not be the biggest audience in the whole world, but who needs the biggest audience? We just need the special people, the special makeup artists that have passion about their jobs and their careers and making people look beautiful. It's not about us. That's why I think I quit becoming an actress, is because it wasn't so natural to me. It was more natural to me to be on the other side of the camera, putting makeup and doing their hair on these gorgeous actors. And I just loved them. And I wanted to make them look good, and I wanted to fix anything that was bothering them. And it's very easy to fix. You just can take out the bad and leave all of the good if you have the skill, and it's a learned skill.
I love that. And I'm curious, Dinah, when you say they tried to stop you, is the they in this story like movie producers, or who was trying to put a halt to your business in this method?
Well, I think a lot of different jealousy, mainly with I don't know. I don't want to say just men, but I mean, I know men thought about airbrushing, and they thought because they did special effects and they sprayed acrylic paint that, you know, and they use Hudson sprayers to make the Indians look red. And, you know, I know they thought of it, but they didn't finish it. We finished it. George and I finished it because it was a gift to us to finish, and it was a gift. It was just a gift, and that's why we have stood by it.
For
That's why
owners
we're still
and
here.
professionals listening who are really interested in DINAR, are there still opportunities to get training on how to apply? So it's
Yes.
available for use commercially, but also if you're a professional, how do you go and learn how to properly apply to be able to do for either bridal or other commercial video settings and photography sessions?
Well, we have online now, and if anybody wants a class, then call us. We'll put a class together. I did just scale down to just manufacturing. It's just a sign of the times. They raised my rent to where it wasn't affordable here in California, our taxes. And so I just scaled down in November after I lost George to just a smaller facility. And we just are manufacturing. I still sell to schools. There's a lot of schools. I just sold to community colleges, and the kids want it. And it's been up and down, and yes, they did, and no, they didn't. But I think if you just go in with passion and you show them that, this whole bag is still working, do you want this or not? Do you really love your job or not? Because you know that SB 803, they messed with our hours for the hairdressers to learn in school. They cut them back, all politics. So I was very involved in all of that. And so now the kids don't have that many hours to really learn to get their skill up. So I think that affected it. But now I feel the kids who are now in school want it and want to be different. And especially the kids who go to school at night, they usually have jobs during the day and they go to night school. They want it. They're in school for a reason to go out and to get into this profession, which is a wonderful profession.
It really is. And you're still actively involved. So are you still, you said behind the chair and doing makeup applications? Tell us a bit
I
about your
am.
life.
I am. My clients are not going to let me go. And I read your book and I loved it. And yes, I make them chocolate chip cookies. And yes, I make it memorable. I do help them. If they need to get ready for Halloween, I get them ready for Halloween.
I love that, Dinah. I mean, you're in this amazing part of California. I'm curious if you have a studio, they come to you, or your clientele as such where you go to them.
Well, I both. I do have a lot of older clients like me, and I do go to them and do them. They're my very special celebrity clients, and or they come to me. I have a little studio that I do hair at, and I always have for 40 years. So I could prep all of my wigs or whatever for the movies or for the Emmys. We worked on the Emmys for the Governor's Ball for years, and we cut all the stencils that were, going to be the theme that year, and we we did it. We did
You
it. We
work
liked
hard.
it.
You have an incredible work ethic, and I have this energy about you that why stop a good thing? Tell
Oh
me.
yeah, you die when you stop. So no way, no way. I'm going working. It's a gift. It's a gift. It's not about money. It can't be about money. You see what money has done to our society. It isn't about that. It's the journey. It's the journey.
What are you most hopeful for when you think about the potential of our industry? What are you hoping you'll see in the next 3 to 5 years happen?
Well, I hope the influencers learn to airbrush for sure. I'd like for Jay Lika to come on your show. She's like an amazing airbrusher since she was 14, never did traditional makeup,
Wow.
and she's out there. And she was over here yesterday. She's going to start doing all of her influencers. So I don't want influencers just to do their makeup, they have to do other people. You know what I mean? And not just pound on all that traditional stuff. They need to learn airbrush makeup. They need to learn DINAIR. It's sanitary. So just put out good habits.
I love that. And for you personally, what are your personal goals yet to fulfill for your life? I know you've achieved so much and all these dreams and maybe then some have come true for you. But is there anything in the next 3 to 5 years that you're working towards?
Yes, I am looking for DINAIR surrogate parents to take over and to be as passionate as George and I are. So that's what I'm looking for. So that's
Here's
my
the audience.
offering.
Yeah. Wow, what an opportunity. This is very cool. For everybody listening, Dinah, how would you recommend they start getting into a relationship with Dinair? Is this through Instagram? Is there a website? How would you prefer we share that platform with them?
Well, yeah, they could email us or direct message us. We were hacked not long ago. I'm still friends with my anti-hacker who love them. So he got our Instagram back. So you can direct message us or call DINAIR at 800 308 8500, And Leanne is the most amazing customer service and loves DINAIR and is a hairdresser. uh, we'll chat. We'd love
I
to chat
appreciate
to anybody who's feeling it.
I love that. And you are at many of the beauty shows still? Are you still doing?
No, we haven't been. We used to do them so big. Financially, it was just huge, and people just stopped coming. And when they could order online, why do they want to carry all of this product out? But we had an amazing career going to these shows and loved it, just loved it.
Well, I've loved getting to know you. I'm curious before we're done with our time together, if you have any final words of wisdom for owners and professionals listening today.
Just that this is a great service to add. It's fast. And like your book says, show them a little bit what it can do. You know, um, it's just easy, it's sanitary, and it is the future, and the future is here.
I love that. Thank you so much, Dinah, for being with me today and
Thank
sharing
you.
your incredible journey. You guys go to the links in our show notes to go and follow DINAIR Airbrush Makeup and just follow the journey because Dinah has done amazing things. And I still say you have pioneered this. It wasn't, you were the first and you still are the very, very best. So I just appreciate that you've kept the integrity of the product the entire time and not fallen for what seems trendy. You stay tried and true to what's the very, very best for people all around. So I think that's amazing.
Thank you so much. And it hasn't been easy, and it isn't easy, but it's worth it.
Yeah. Well,
Thank you,
thank you
Katie.
again. And thank you all for joining us here week after week. If you appreciate this platform, please take a moment, leave us a 5-star review wherever you're listening so that more people like you will discover Beyond the Technique, where we're here to change the way that you're supported in your business. Until next time, have an awesome day and stay strong.
Did you know over 60% of first-time clients do not return for a second visit? That is so painful, but it doesn't have to be that way. That's where Maya comes in. Maya is the ultimate marketing software for the beauty and wellness industry. We have a proprietary funnel utilizing special algorithms to help connect the right consumers with the right providers at your business. This means that Maya helps you get higher spending clients you love to work with who stay the long haul. If you want to increase your revenue, increase your client count, increase your average ticket, and increase your new client retention, then you need Maya. Go to joinmaya.com to set up your own personal virtual tour and see why over 500,000 consumers have trusted Maya and the businesses we work with to find their perfect beauty and wellness pro. We promise you will love Maya.